Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to cut and sew a sweetheart neck. Hello there, today I want to show you how to draft a sweetheart neck. So this is my bodice block, and I'm going to be needing 4 measurements. The first measurement I'll need is the neck width. How wide do I want the neck to be? So I'm going to take my measurement from shoulder neck point, that's this point out. So if I take my shoulder neck point out, for me, I want mine to be 1.5 inch from my shoulder neck point out, 1.5 inch. So I'm going to mark that from here. Oh, sorry, 1 inch rather, because I want it to be a really small sweetheart neck. So I'm going to do 1 inch because it's supposed to be like an office dress for me. So I want it to be as modest as possible. The second measurement you will need is your overall neck depth. Where do you want the curve to stop? The sweetheart, where do you want it to end? So you're going to take that also from your shoulder neck point. Your shoulder neck point is the highest point on your shoulder, in between your neck and your shoulder, where your shoulder begins, where your neck ends. So that's called your shoulder neck point. I'll take that from here to this point. Because I said I want it to be really modest, I'm going to do 7.5. I'll measure from here to where 7.5. Sorry, I'm going to do 7, really modest, so 7 inches for me. And I've marked that right here. So this is my neck width, this is my neck depth. The third measurement I'll need is from my shoulder neck point to the top of my bust. Remember this first one, this overall neck depth I took was towards my cleavage area. The second one will be right on top of the bust, so that I don't expose my bust, because if you're measuring from here to here, it's different from measuring from here to here. 7 inches is right on my bust, it's exposing it, and I don't want that. So I'm going to do really modest. I'm going to do 4 inches from my shoulder neck point right here. So you take that measurement from the highest point of your shoulder, that's your shoulder neck point down. You mark that measurement on your paper. I've marked that, that's my third measurement. Then the fourth measurement I'm taking is how wide do I want the sweethearts to be? I want mine to be really small. I want it to be like 5 inches wide. So this is 5 inches wide for me. I like that. So that's divided by 2, that will be 2.5. So I'm going to be marking that from the center front, that's from this place out. So that's half of that measurement, 2.5. And I'm marking that right here. So it meets with the first point that I did. So time for me to connect. I'm going to connect the one that my shoulder width to the other neck depth I took that stopped on top of my bust. I've done the connection. The second connection I'm doing is the one from this point down towards the cleavage area. That's the one that carries the curve. I'm going to use a curved ruler for that. Depends on how curvy you want it to look. You connect, and that's the sweetheart. I'm going to cut it out now. But my paper is not on fold, so you might not get the full picture. So this is my sweetheart neck. It's only half. This is my sweetheart neck. So this is how it's going to be. I'm going to cut it fully and then come back and show you what it looks like. Alright, this is the sweetheart neck. I hope you can see it clearly. This is it on my body. That's the sweetheart neck, and that's so I've cut out my sweetheart neck, and I want to turn it with lining. So I've sewn, and I'm now notching all the sharp points. That's my very modest sweetheart neck, like I told you. So I want to top stitch right now. Top stitching is really good. Top stitching means sewing on top of the lining, holding down the fabric and the lining together, but the stitch shouldn't show on the fabric. The stitch should be on the lining. Top stitching holds your cloth firm. It makes sure that once you start wearing and washing, the lining will not ride up and start to come out of the fabric. So that's why top stitching is very, very important. So you can see that I got to the first sharp point, I stopped. I made sure the needle is inside, and I raised the presser foot up so that I can get a good curve. This makes sure that your sharp points remain sharp and your curve remains a curve. So I'm continuing down till I get to the sharp point also on the sweetheart part. You see that I stopped again. I raised the foot up, turned to the other side, and continued sewing the second curve of the sweetheart neck. I'll continue sewing again till I get to the other point. I'll stop again and then continue and finish up the neck. That's how top stitching is done. So this is the neck. It's not been ironed yet, so the shape won't really come out. I'll go and iron and show you. For those of you who don't top stitch your clothes after sewing, this video is for you. After you sew, you better start top stitching your clothes. Otherwise, when you start to wash it, it will be coming out, especially the neck area. This is the neck of my cloth. Wow. This is the neck of my cloth. If you notice, you see that I've done, see, there's a tiny stitch on this side of the lining. This is supposed to hold both the lining and the back part that you've sewn together. You can see it's not supposed to appear on this other side. It's not supposed to appear on the main fabric. It's supposed to just be on the lining. This holds the stitch down so that when you wear and you start to wash your clothes, it won't come out. Your lining will not come out. Okay, so that's the essence of top stitching. So this is my sweetheart neck. It's been ironed. It's really modest, but I like it because it's supposed to be like an office dress, and I don't want it revealing at all. If it was a party sweetheart neck, it would be wider than this. Thank you for watching.